What up?
What's happening, folks?
What's going on, everybody?
Well,
Hey, Lola looks like she took a shower today.
I
I
did.
didn't know it was Saturday.
It's not.
Oh, did you forget last Saturday?
Oh. Should I be honest? Should I be honest? Should I be honest?
Did you? Do it.
We were doing the nasty.
Okay,
And
I
I
don't know
needed
why.
to take a shower.
I don't know why. I asked you to-
That's what you get.
Don't
guess
ask
so.
questions to which you don't want the answers.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, yeah. Apple did a thing.
They did.
And Sony did a thing.
They fucking did.
Yep. And Darth Vader sadly lost his voice.
Oh man, I hate to hear it that way.
Yes. So before we roll this week's intro, this week's episode is dedicated to the life and memory of the legendary James Earl Jones, famously the voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa, among other incredible characters he's played over the years. So we're going to have a quick moment of silence, and then we're going to get into the episode.
All right. Why do we have to start that way?
We get the sad stuff out of the way, and then we end on the positive stuff.
Yeah, that was obviously he was 93 years old, but that was still.
It sucks to hear it. You know, it sucks when things like that happen. I mean, it really, really does suck. But you know, he lived a good life.
That he did.
Yeah, all the cool shit he's accomplished.
Yeah, and on that note, other than Mufasa and Darth Vader, what else did you like him on? He was good on Sandlot.
Yeah.
He was on what the hell is that show? Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
For I think at least one episode. Although I've seen the clips of the episodes that he was in, so I never really watched the show. Let's see.
That's the first time he met her in person. Carrie
Fisher?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
They never actually got to meet. Like, not work together. They never worked together, like, legit, because he did the voices. He was not.
Right. So he never actually got to meet them face to face. I'm actually surprised. Like, when I found that out, because I'm like, I find that hard to believe, but oh shit.
I thought there was a picture of them.
No, he said it in an interview.
Oh, got it.
I got it from him, not from anybody else.
Yeah. Because I literally saved a picture today.
Oh, he was in that movie with Eddie Murphy.
Coming to America.
Coming to America. He was his father.
Yep.
Mufasa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other movie.
That's the other guy.
Do we think that he's gonna be in the new Mufasa movie? There might have been some time already for them to record something. I'm sure he was in it.
Well, it depends on how far into adulthood we get him in that movie.
It's certainly possible. It all really depends on, well, between that and timing, I suppose. when they.
Well,
I'm sure they have everything recorded by now since the movie's coming out in
they actually.
September.
I have an answer for that. I think. They actually paid him to use his voice in AI.
Right. I knew that
Mm.
for Darth Vader.
Yeah, but I think it also included.
I'm pretty sure it covers. I'm pretty sure it covers
Mufasa.
everything he worked in when he was contracted with Disney. Whatever projects that he worked on. So I would assume it extends to pretty much everything. And yeah, which is, I mean, I'm okay with it to an extent, but I forget this guy's name, but there is a guy that actually sounds like eerily similar that actually did some recordings for just to throw him up on like social media, TikTok and things like that, of him voicing Darth Vader, which was actually really cool. Like I could almost not even fucking tell the difference between the two. It was insane. And for the life of me, I cannot remember this dude's name.
God damn it.
Yeah. Gotta love when that happens.
Well, now I don't know how to transition to this. So we're gonna talk about the Apple event and some news from Sony. So don't go anywhere. Episode of the Nerd Archive podcast.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, but who the hell cares about wildlife anyway?
Right. We're over.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Nerd Archive podcast. My name is Louis, and as always, I have Lola, Yadi, and Justin. We're going to be talking about Apple. We're going to be talking about Sony. Dude.
A lot of stuff coming through.
I know. It's great time to be a nerd, and a tech nerd at that, and a gaming nerd at that. So, Justin, did you see the Apple event, or at least the highlights?
I did watch most of it earlier today, and we were kind of touching on this earlier before we started the episode. While you had to restart your computer, technical difficulties, folks. It happens.
Yeah.
Like the difference in, I mean, yeah, the new devices they got coming out, they're definitely more capable than what was a previous generation, but it seems like the jumps in hardware and whatnot are just getting like shorter and shorter with each progressing generation. And so it's like, I mean, if you're on the previous generation, honestly, unless you have to have bleeding edge everything, every time it comes out, every year, what's the point?
Right. I think that I liked everything, but there was one thing very underwhelming, which I'm not even gonna buy. I didn't even buy the first generation. I'm not gonna buy the second generation. Is their AirPod Max?
Oh, the new over the ear headset they got.
The second generation.
Yeah.
And it's, first of all, they're really expensive. Second of all, the refresh was that they give it 5 new colors, and they changed the port to USB-C. Nothing else. They still running with the first chip, even though their other AirPods already are in second generation of the audio chip.
It's fucking weird. Like they literally changed nothing besides giving you more color options and changing the charging port.
Yeah, which makes me believe that they're going to, like, the next generation is going to be completely different.
Makes you wonder, do they still make Beats headphones since they own the fucking platform anyway?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
of course. It's another way of them making money.
I had to ask because I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the Beats headphones anyway. I mean, I know there are a lot of people out there that like them, but it's like, I don't really give a shit. And because I'm like, but I was questioning like, do they not make the Beats anymore? Did they sacrifice that brand to, transition everything over to their own like Apple branded headsets now?
No.
But I guess not. Yeah.
They are continuing to make Beats, and they're continuing to squeeze as much money as they can.
Oh, of course. And there are those people out there that will eat that shit up every fucking year.
Yeah.
So I think that the Beats are for those that don't have iPhone devices. So there's a way for them to market to that.
Right.
That market, I guess.
Right. That does make sense. I didn't think about it that way, but that's fucking super smart, I guess.
Yeah, could be.
Lola, did you watch the event or the highlights, or did you read about it?
The in case you missed it video.
Right? Hey, listen.
It's more than I've ever done, I know.
Yeah. Listen.
Usually I watch it as you guys are talking.
Yes.
Fun fact, we did it before you guys started talking. Anyways.
Nice. I think that the greatest takeaway is, to me, I'm going to stay with the audio, is the AirPods, the AirPod Pro. Because the AirPod Pro, you can actually use them as hearing aids.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's actually a pretty interesting one. To be honest, I thought that was one of the best parts about that one, because it's like, hey, okay, it gives you, it gives the hearing impaired
a chance.
A little bit of a boost.
Another market that
there you go. They can rip people off on.
You can't hear well? We got you covered.
Yeah, right.
No, which is funny because I might be jumping the boat to get the AirPods Pro, because I have a lot of problems hearing lately.
I think that's selective hearing is what you have.
No. No, because I wish it was. But it's to the point where it's pissing me off that I don't hear well. I'm like, I have to. Sometimes Sarah's talking to me and I'm paying attention to her, and I'm like, what?
Do you read her lips do you read people's lips when they're talking?
That's if they're looking at me when they're talking. A lot of people don't look at you when they're talking, like especially at work.
I've noticed that.
There's way too many things in the way in a restaurant. Like, oh, table so and so, it's in the oven now. Like, table what? So
34 is hitting you hard, huh?
Yeah, bro. It's insane. It's been a couple of years coming. But this last couple months has been a lot harder.
Have you gotten your hearing checked?
What? Just kidding.
He will get the hearing test with the AirPods Pro too.
With the AirPods Pro.
There you go. There you go.
So, it's probably a buildup of wax.
Gross.
Could be.
No, it happens.
It's certainly possible. My brother had that deal where it was just like impacted in his ear, and then they washed it out and
It flushed it out.
now it's all good. Yeah.
Have you seen those videos? They're gross.
See, all you gotta do is get a vacuum cleaner, just put it on your ear, see what comes out. Might be more than earwax.
That's probably a really good way to give yourself tinnitus.
Yeah. So, did you guys ever watch 1,000 Ways to Die on FX? Back in the day. You never watched it? It was very interesting.
Great show.
Yeah, it was very interesting. But the reason
not one of the things.
Yeah, which the reason I thought about it is because there was one with a vacuum cleaner.
Oh God.
This guy wanted a liposuction, but he couldn't afford it, so he used a
Oh,
vacuum cleaner.
jeez.
And the thing about here's the thing. It wasn't even the fact that he was doing this procedure in his garage that killed him. It's the fact that those vacuums that they use for fat, they are way less stronger than a regular vacuum, and he sucked some organs and
Yes.
dead.
Yeah.
He needs those.
Yeah.
Well, he needed those.
Yeah. So, Apple, you need a liposuction vacuum for households. Yeah.
Personal at-home liposuction.
Yeah. Call it the
It's
applesauce.
gonna happen one day. I bet you.
Call it the what?
The applesauce.
Yeah.
You know, they missed the marketing on the charging cables. Why didn't call it apple juice?
That would have been a good one.
I mean,
But
back when they still had their own proprietary chargers before
Yeah, I
the
know.
before the EU decided, go fuck yourself. You need to standardize your charging, and now they have to do what everyone else is using with USB-C.
Except
Yeah.
I mean,
with
it's
the wireless-
honestly, huh?
except with the wireless charging, they can still do their own, which they magnetize their thing. What is
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Forgot the name of it. I'm so good with names.
the MagSafe.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I think that the MagSafe is one of the most brilliant thing they've done.
I agree.
The most common thing with a phone that will go bad and like within a year is the charging port. So, and those that work in the restaurant industry, that charging port gets dirty, and they don't tell you when you take it to get fixed because it's not charging. They don't tell you it was dirty. They just charge you for a new one.
Of course.
And all
Of
they
course.
did was
Clean it out.
take a toothpick and just stick.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we replaced your charging port, or we cleaned your charging port. I mean, replaced it. Here,
Yeah.
$200.
Yep. Look, it charges now.
Yeah, right.
No. I think the iPhone is coming back, or it's coming in very powerful this year. Yeah, with first of all, the Apple Intelligence. It's
Another intelligent thing that we get.
yeah, welcome to the future.
Pretty
And
much.
then it's only going to happen. So just
Oh,
embrace
yeah.
it.
Samsung started doing that same thing on the S24, and I haven't really bothered with any of it just yet. Because I mean, I'm still just kind of playing around, looking at the new stuff on this thing, and at some point, I'm gonna start diving a bit deeper into what that thing's got. But
Right.
yeah, now a lot of the more advanced AI solutions and things like that, you're gonna start
Yeah.
seeing that on more and more and more devices. So
Yeah.
the big mobile players, Apple, Samsung, and things like that, they're going to start leaning heavily into
The AI,
Mhm.
which it's a new thing, and they want to be part of it. That's just the way business is.
that makes all the sense in the world.
And we talked about the a little bit more detailed with the AI in the last episode that we talked about the last Apple event. But that's when they introduced it. That's when they said that was going to happen, such as like things that the Google phone already had with the pictures, deleting things off your background that you didn't want, and things like that. Which also used AI to fill in whatever background was behind that. So that's another AI thing, which Canva has that too, when you're taking stuff off your picture, out of your pictures.
Yep.
And then they're relying heavily on the camera on this one, on this iPhone, because especially on both models, they have features for the camera, but the iPhone Pro it's very, very like photo and video heavy. They have different modes, such as like the coolest thing I saw was that you can play with the audio when it comes to the videos when you're recording. Like they put a better mic into the iPhone.
It's four microphones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So if you wanted to, if you're recording a home movie, or if you're a filmmaker and you want the iPhone to focus on the people that you are focused on the phone, on the camera, it'll pick up their audio more than the background around them. So it's noise cancellation also.
Oh yeah. It'll actively separate out the unwanted audio. And they had that, and they showed that example when those two were sitting in the restaurant. And when you had just the simple unedited video, you could hear the lady as she was giving them their plates. And then when they demonstrated that feature, then you couldn't hear her like at all. Like it wasn't one of those like first generation features where you can kind of hear it. So it's doing something, but it's not quite there yet. It was completely fucking cleaned out, which was actually kind of cool. I like that.
So I can't believe you said that about Apple and an Apple product.
It's tech. Like I honestly, I don't give a shit. Like if I give shit to people about buying Apple products, it's not that serious. It's really not. Like I genuinely don't dislike people except for the elitist fucks who see it as just as a status symbol. Those people can fucking go to hell.
It's funny because that's the video that Yadi sent today. He's like, when you have an iPhone, it's like you're well put together. Your life is going in places. When you have an Android phone, it's like your life has not panned out the way you wanted it. So I think it's funny. I'm like, damn, that was straight to the heart.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, it seems like they're the camera and the technology around it for the iPhone 16 seems to be like their biggest boost,
right?
As far as what they've improved on and everything else.
Mm-hmm. When they talked about the camera button, I thought it was just going to be a shutter.
A shutter button, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was going to be. But when they talked about it today, or yesterday, I'm like, okay. It's a little bit more than that, which you can zoom in by sliding your finger on the button, and you can change the mode and everything on there. Obviously, I knew I expected them to like a quick click. It would be a photo. If you hold it, it'd be a video. So those things I expected, but the zooming and changing modes and the depth mode and all that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it has different levels of pressure. So it recognizes what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I like that they implemented what they have already on the iPhone, the AirPods, not iPhone, AirPods Pro. That's how you swipe up and down to control the volume, press and whatnot. It's not really a button. It's like that. So I love that they actually implemented that in the phones in a different way.
Yeah.
A capacitive slider.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that for the volume buttons in the next phone. And basically just go that route with everything, not actually having buttons. It's just this like kind of different multifunction thing that they can use instead of just the one, because they do have the action button as well,
Right.
I think that the little sliding for silence and ringing was the best option because that's just a quick way for me to know that I have it on on silence. But
Right.
you can change it to whatever you want. I'm sure it'll give you some feedback on the phone itself that will let you know once you're in silent mode or just in regular mode.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Based on the way you were talking about it, I'm surprised they haven't done that with with these new phones already. Like maybe
it's a way
from
of
like the 15 or something like that.
it's a way for them to just keep dragging and selling new phones because that's the next evolution. I'm just the way that camera button will be. That makes totally sense to do with the volume.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket. They just want to. Oh, this is the feature for this phone, and then for the 17, now we have the sliding. What we had for the camera, now we have it for volume.
They know they already they know they have it, and they know they're going to do it. They're just going to drip feed you some new features and some slight improvements here and there, just to kind of entice you into buying the next generation.
Clip this because this is going to be. I'm just predicting the future.
Yeah,
next year.
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail. One of the biggest things that these tech companies do is that they already have the features in the phone, but they're off. And then slowly they start integrating them. There's an upgrade. There's an update for your phone. How is it doing this now? I've had the phone in my pocket the whole time. How is it reading now this stuff and that and with the camera, and it was already on there. All they did was the all those components that they're going to be using. It's already in the iPhone. They're just like turning them on with the updates as the year goes to keep you from wanting to. Okay, I'm bored. I got this in January, and it's June, and I'm bored with my iPhone. I'm just gonna go to Android and see something new. So they keep you like every couple months.
Well, I mean, I'll play on the I'll play devil's advocate, I think, for a tiny bit, and say that it's possible that certain features or what have you may not work as well as they envision on the current software. And so when you see like things unlocked, it's probably okay. We're able to make this work on the new software. So here you go. Here's something else.
Right.
And
I can see that too.
Yeah,
but
you don't want to have tech in there that's like you got a proof of concept. We know it works, but we want to make sure that it works as well as we need it to work and as well as you expect it to work before we give it to you, because you don't want to release like a half-baked broken shit,
Warzone.
or pretty much anything that EA and right now Ubisoft has been putting out.
Yeah.
Since
Lola.
you mentioned game, that's another big push they're doing with the new iPhones is making it to be more of a gaming experience for those gamers on the go and whatnot.
Yeah, that's they updated their game mode, and now when you're playing mobile games, the battery doesn't die as quick. It's like it shuts some things down when you're playing, so it doesn't it doesn't become as battery hungry.
Yep.
So, Lola, since you actually watched this, even though it was the highlights thing or recap, what was your favorite thing that you saw in there? Like if you had the money right now to spend, what would be the one thing that you would buy and why?
Maybe the headphones, but I don't really like that type of headphone. I don't like the plastic thingy inside your ear. So
The
I
Pro
like
is the only
camera
one that
features.
has it. So the Pro versions of the AirPods are the only
Yeah.
one that has a little silicone thing.
Yeah.
The regular versions, they don't have any.
Those are the ones that I buy usually, and whenever I lose a pair or I need, or like one of them starts like Because usually I wear one at a time. Whenever one of them starts sounding super low, I just get a new pair of the not Pro.
Yeah, the AirPods.
Yeah. That being
Um,
said, I really like the camera features that they have,
mhm.
or they will have.
No, I agree. I'm
Mm.
really waiting to see what's new for like iPad and the
Mm-hmm.
MacBook that's coming out in the event for October
Yeah.
or November. That's how they're gonna close out the year and see what's new.
Yeah.
Um, the Apple Watch, the Series 10, is as big as the Ultra, and that's exciting
And thinner.
and thinner.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
Yeah, because I have the Series 9, and compared to, let me see if I can show you guys here. So this is the first Apple Watch that I bought, and I only use it for work because it's already cracked and the bottom part I can't click anything on it. So I just use it for work. But the difference in size is not a lot. Jesus Christ.
I think if you take the other one off, it might be easier.
Yeah, but I don't want to take it off. It's a different band. It's old school with the
Mm.
But the screen itself, or the watch itself, is not as big. It's just less vessels. So the screen looks bigger because you have a big frame on that one, and then this one doesn't have such a big frame. And I love the fact that it has the features to stay on all the time, like a regular watch.
Mm.
Like the always on thing. I turned
Yeah.
that off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a fan of those.
Yeah, neither am I.
I like it a lot because I don't have to be, I don't, if I'm at work, sometimes I'm doing something like sauteing something, and I can see the watch from the side, and I don't have to like.
Yeah,
And
hit the
sometimes,
mic.
yeah, hit the mic. And sometimes the old one, you literally, if you moved your hand and it activated it, but then you didn't look at it, but then you wanted to look at it and you do it again, it doesn't. You literally, I look like I'm trying to open the water faucet. Well, I don't know what you're doing, but that looks like fun.
twisting the
The-
wrist
Yeah.
because my old watch I had the exact same issue. It's like it turns itself on accidentally, and then when you actually think to go down to look at it, it turns off, and then you go to bring it back up and it doesn't turn itself on, and then you have to go
Right.
go forward and then go back, and then it turns itself on, and just
And
yeah,
sometimes
out of unnecessary shit.
you see me doing that and it doesn't work, and sometimes I gotta like put my hand down and bring it
It's
back
like
up.
you gotta act like you're not looking at it.
Yeah,
And then you look at it and then
Yeah.
it turns on.
exactly. So
It's like
I
it
keep that always
knows.
on.
Have you
Thank you,
noticed
Mike.
that this is not like smart or like intelligent technology, and this is how much you guys are struggling?
Yeah.
Imagine with the actual like intelligent technology.
Well, the thing is, back in the day, or still now, but the digital watches, you didn't have to do that. It was always on, and you saw the time. So that's why I keep it on. It at that point, it's just personal preference, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, plus it's just like a basic watch face doesn't really use all that much battery anyway, and that and that in and of itself, like the battery in that watch already probably lasts like 4 days probably. Well, how long does the battery last on yours? The one
Like-
that you have now.
2 days.
yeah,
Mine lasts a day, but also it's the same watch I've had since
It's a Series 3.
2017. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like if
So
I
it's really strong.
if I use it for work today, tomorrow, by like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it'll be off. It also depends on how many notifications you get too.
Mm.
How many
With
times you go like
Discord,
this?
bro. Yeah, right. Right. But Discord, it drains the battery.
That's why I never get. That's why I always turned like Discord notifications, like anything that gives me a lot of freaking notifications, going to anything. I always turn that off on the watch. And I was in the same camp as well, like because I still have the Gear S3 Classic, and that's like several generations old, and like I could get like when it was new, I could get like 3 days out of the damn thing. Now I can get like maybe a day and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's exhausting to look at your watch all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Well, I mean, it's easier than having to pull your phone out of your goddamn pocket every time it vibrates, or it's like, oh, I need to check this. And
Right. I like it when I can read my text and whatnot
mhm.
quickly.
I do too.
If I have to like, do something about it, and I don't have my phone on me, I can actually text back, all that good stuff. If you
I
do
like
put it
being-
in,
Go for it.
no, I was gonna say if you put it in like low power mode, it could last 36 hours.
Mhm.
But who wants that? Just the time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I like being able to read my like text messages and then completely ignoring them. It's my favorite. And it's like, oh, you need something important, anyways.
It's funny because I keep my rent receipts just for Sarah. Everyone else, I have it off. But if if I'm at work and the notification comes through and I read it, it doesn't say that I read it. But if the message app is open on the messages, she can send me 15 at the same time and it'll say it's all read and I didn't read any of them. And
Oh,
also
shit.
if the message app is open, you don't get the notification.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, it's been 2 hours. What the hell is she doing? Oh shit, she did text me. So, other than the watch, the iPhone, and the AirPods, I think that's all of at least what I got from like what I was most excited about. A lot of people think that it was very underwhelming.
It was.
Well, they're dividing their announcements through the year, which makes sense.
Right.
It's not overwhelming of information. This is a time where people are usually getting their news for their new like mobile devices, basically.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one thing that we didn't talk about is that both versions of the iPhone are getting bigger screens.
Oh yeah, they are bigger phones, bigger batteries. At least for the iPhone Plus, 16 Plus, and then the Pro Max.
Right.
Even the regular Pro, it's bigger now.
Right. It's the Pro Max is 6.9, which it's
basically an iPad Mini.
Yeah, pretty much. The next thing is going to be the iPhone Fold.
iFold.
Yeah, iFold. Yeah, that's you heard it here first.
Yeah,
the iFold. Checks in the mail.
Yeah, there you go.
See, they might do their tablets like that, but I don't see their iPhones being like that. We'll see.
The phone is, I would agree with you there. The phone is unlikely, at least for whenever they decide to do folding screen technology. Because I mean, and that's the thing though, it's like even with Samsung, like the first generation of the Z Fold didn't really go over that well because the technology really wasn't there. And then from, I think it was like Gen 2 on, things got a lot better. And so they started selling a lot more. And then
Which one did you have?
I had the third gen, the Z Fold 3.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it for the most part. The issue that I had, and I would hope that they'd have ironed it out by like Gen 4. But now they're on Gen 6. Was some of the apps like to get kind of screwy when you're transitioning between the small screen and the large screen when you open up the phone. So like some of the apps don't like that, and they'll get all screwy, and then you have to close them and then reopen them.
Got it.
So, and then of course with the folding screen, inevitably like the crease in the middle becomes a bit more pronounced as you open it up and close it, and then it'll start to crack there. Like the outer layer of the screen will start to crack there after prolonged use.
Which makes sense.
That's the biggest, I think, drawback of like folding or bendable screens and stuff like that. So,
right. You know who actually does it well, and I haven't heard anybody complain about it? The Razer. When they brought back the Razer, I haven't heard anybody complaining about the whole folding part.
I think it's probably because they don't sell.
Yeah. So it's
I don't know
barely
anyone
anybody.
with one.
The shade.
I don't know anyone with
That's
it.
the thing. I know like 3 people with them, and they don't complain about it. Also, if you buy a Razer, it's mostly just nostalgia. I feel
was
like
about to say, yeah.
And I don't know. It's the people that I know that have them love the phone. But
That's good.
I agree with you. I don't. It's like, yeah, 3 people. That's probably their Florida market right there. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Someone on TikTok was talking about the Razer, and she said, "All right, so you brought the Razer. Now, T-Mobile, bring the Sidekick back."
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, and someone made. I'll send you guys the video. Someone used AI to render what it would look like, and he said, I tried like 17 times, and I couldn't give it the right prompt because it wasn't working. It wasn't doing. And then all of a sudden, I must have said the right thing because this popped up and it looked beautiful. And I'm like, oh man, T-Mobile, you need to do this shit. It literally just looked. The AI used like the iPhone layout almost mixed with. You all remember the Samsung Edge?
I think so.
It was that one phone that the screen
Curved at the end.
curved at the edge, and you can still see like notifications on the side, and
Yes.
it looked like that with mixed with the iPhone, but then it was open and the keyboard was underneath it. Because I remember that the Sidekick, all of them except for one, they flipped when you push the screen. But then the last generation of Sidekicks, it was just push up. So that's what that one looked like. So it looked beautiful.
If you can find it.
Oh, I will send you because I was at work and it was easier for me to like it and save it than share it. Because sometimes I look at TikTok in the middle of
Pooping?
cooking. No, cooking.
We all know you take hour-long breaks.
Well, I do take 1 hour long break, yes. But at work, I can't do that. they'll start looking for me.
Yeah.
Because that normally who's working with me in this Alice station doesn't know how to do properly the hot station. So it's not like I can be gone for 20 minutes and they can just take care of the line. So, and I shouldn't be doing that anyways. That's the point. Okay, moving on.
Sony.
Yeah.
Yes, Sony did a thing.
The PlayStation 5 Pro. Ouch.
What's hurting? Oh, the pocket. I see. Get it.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I watched that presentation earlier, like literally, like I think it was like a few hours after it had finished, and I'm looking at this thing like, okay, you've already pissed a number of people off by not having a disk drive.
You can
Which-
buy it separately though.
Yeah, that's another one of those things. Is like they've been doing that since the PS5 Slim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's you can have it as
It's
a
the same
separate add-on.
size.
It's
I know, the same
it's
size.
just it just seems rather ridiculous. And then they're charging $700 fucking for that without a disk drive.
But it does come with 2 terabytes, which in reality, if you were to upgrade your memory, you still spend another $100 to $200 on an SSD.
Depending on the SSD you buy, because
That's what I'm
I
saying,
mean you
between
can buy
100 and 200.
it's still less than what Sony's probably charging you for their memory upgrades.
Yeah, but it's a compatible one.
That part. It's someone did the math, including the inflation, and the PlayStation 3, if they were to sell it right now with the inflation, would have been $934. Because when it came out, it was really expensive for the time.
$600.
Yeah.
Right? It was 600.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
the
this-
fact that we're getting a PS5 Pro for $100 more than that, which is still $700. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying it. However, it's 8K compatible.
This time.
Right.
Because they said it in the first one.
Yeah.
Right.
The first
This time.
few.
Yeah. So, and it all depends on how many games are you really gonna get in 8K. That's another thing. Yeah, you can have you can have the technology for it, but how many games are you gonna get out of that?
Well, I mean, I'm sure most developers can do that. They could probably update their games in order to support it, but the real question is how many people actually have 8K TVs or
Right.
monitors or anything like that. I think that's the bigger concern. It's like you have to have a more mainstream market for it. So, 8K becomes a bit more affordable, then it would make sense. So the two, I think, are going to wind up defeating each other. Because if you don't have enough people that can take advantage of that, then developers aren't really going to be as inclined to put that out there.
But
Which
let's
is
be
just another-
reasonable. Let's be reasonable. The majority of the people that are able to afford a $700 console are probably going to be able to afford an 8K. The majority, not there's exceptions to the rule, but
you would think, but there are people that would go out there and spend that kind of money on this PlayStation when they can't really afford it because they just have to have it because they, just to say that they have it.
right.
Like, I got a PlayStation 5 Pro. Good for you. You don't have the proper TV to take advantage of it. I mean, shit, 4K TVs are practically a dime a dozen now.
Right.
Some are better than others, but still.
And the ray tracing is going to be 2 times up to 3 times better and faster than the current one.
Oh yeah. Ronald Shelton in the chat said it's more about a more steady frame rate and better 4K because it's mainly an upgraded GPU. So he says PS 5.5, and yeah, he is absolutely right.
This motherfucker doesn't know how to type.
Nope.
Yeah, because he had to correct and say frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
Framer R.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Oh my god.
Make
It's
fun of him for it constantly.
yeah.
But at least in the video, I don't see that they focus on the AK part of it. I think they focus more on that the performance aspect of it. They did increase.
Yeah.
It's gonna work better with more of the 120 hertz for those displays that can actually do it. At least I'm lucky enough to have a TV that can actually do it. But the big selling point for me is that I'm gonna get it.
Ronald Shelton in the chat, my autocorrect isn't smart like Apple.
Well, maybe if it was Apple. Get your life together. No, I agree with you. That it's more about the performance. The fact that it supports 8K, it will crush 4K. Like that.
Pretty much.
That's the whole point.
Pretty much.
I think that's why they mention it. Like they were focusing on the 8K. Hey, we can do 8K, but that means that when you play on 4K, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Oh yeah. So you'll be able to get 100 to 120 frames per second if you have the display that can support it, so it can absolutely crush 4K 60 without a problem. It's like, but I'm gonna hazard a guess and say that if you're gonna try and push 8K, even if you have a panel that supports it, you're probably gonna struggle to maintain a consistent 30 frames.
Right.
So the technology needs to move forward a bit more, but it'll get there.
I saw something today that I wanted to bring up. We haven't heard anything about GTA 6 since 9 months ago that they released the reveal that we were getting it next year. The rumors are that they're going to push it to 2026. And because it's coming out on console first, that means the PC gamers normally it takes about 18 months for a console game to move to PC if it's not revealed with the original reveal. So people are looking at 2028 if you want it on PC.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, how long have they been working on it? If they're actually going to delay it into 2026, I mean, I'm not mad about it.
Right.
It gives them more time to polish and optimize and what have you. So if they're doing that with the intent to releasing on all platforms, including PC simultaneously, then do it. Take the time you need. I would rather have them take longer and have a more polished and optimized and finished game than to rush and have something bad that you have to go and release patch after patch after patch to fucking, to make your game try and struggle to work. Looking at you, Star Wars Jedi Survivor on PC.
God damn it.
Electronic Arts. You gotta step your fucking game up. And I imagine that in all the fucking updates that they've released, it
still doesn't work.
Some PCs still won't fucking run it because they can't optimize for shit.
Yeah, So, whatever.
Do better.
Quick question though: how many times a week do you try to play that game still on PC?
It's been months. It's been months, but
I haven't even seen a Steam update for that game in several months.
yeah.
I'm wondering if they've just completely decided to just cut bait and move on.
Well, I wouldn't care.
It's not like it's an online game that needs constant like updates or
Right.
multiplayer stuff. So I guess
Hmm.
there's just it's one of those that people are asking for, that they want to have more stories and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one of them.
Yeah. Moving on from that. Man, you touched that subject and now I forgot what I was going to say.
Stop crying.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, like one of the videos that they play for the PlayStation, one of the games was Gran Turismo 7, which I haven't played
Mm.
any Gran Turismo games in a long time, and it kind of made me want to get it because it looked really cool.
Yeah, I saw that. It's the ray tracing on that game it's going to be insane.
Hmm.
Because they focus on the reflection on the cars in that video. So that's going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be insane.
I think down the road I might get it, but
Yeah,
Not
like
for-
I wouldn't. I'm not
not
gonna
for
do a
700
pre-order.
bucks.
I'm not gonna do a pre-order on this.
For me, it's no pre-order and it's not for $700. I'll wait until there's a decent enough sale or something like that, and obviously after the initial hype is worn off, and because people are going to be just snapping these up left and right, and the scalpers are going to be out in force.
They're
As they
also
always
not.
are.
Yeah, and they're also not making this for the average gamer, because they'll still have the slim version. They still have all the other products that they have. So
Yeah.
this is more of the people that actually want to have a better console because they're dedicated gamers. They want to.
Right.
They do have the ability to actually just play for those people that actually don't have a PC because they don't have the time to just spend that much money for playing some games. This is a good alternative.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
much.
agree with you. Because for you to buy a PC that is as powerful as this, you got to spend at least on the minimum $2,100, $2,200 on
Yeah.
the minimum side. So it does make sense that it's for those that want that experience, but they don't have the budget to buy an ultra PC. So
True enough.
because for you to get that kind of ray tracing and performance, you need at least a 4090. At least.
Yeah,
So
even like the 80. The 80s it's still expensive anyways.
yeah.
Mm.
So just the graphics card is it's gonna be as much as the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean,
it's-
the GPU is basically close to like half the cost of a decently spec PC. So
Pretty much.
it gets ridiculous, especially with the 40 series. And I mean, I'm not bothering with the 40 series. I'm still plugging along with the 3080 Ti that I've got, and I'm perfectly content with that. And so once that starts showing its age, then maybe along the lines of when like the 50 series comes out, I might grab one of those. But
Right.
for now,
skipping a generation.
I mean, I do that pretty much with everything. Like, I don't rush out to buy the latest and greatest. I don't need to have the bleeding edge. I'm not the big enthusiast. I mean, if I had the money to do it, maybe. But even still, like, that mentality is, for me, it would be hard to break. Like, like with whether it's graphics cards, whether it's phones, like legit, the Z Fold 3 I had that for almost 3 years. and now we're on the Z Fold 6. I have the S24 Ultra. That's probably going to stay with me for probably close to 3 years before I upgrade. Like, I will run electronic devices into the fucking ground before I spend the money to upgrade. Because to me, there's just no point.
Right. Because at the point that, like, if you wait the 3 years like you normally do,
The upgrade is much bigger.
Right. And you see a lot more. There's a lot more different features that you're like, oh shit, I can do this, I can do that, and you can take advantage of it. So I can see your mentality on that. And iPhone 15 is the first generation that I skipped. I always wanted the latest iPhone, and it was because of every company that I've ever been with, I've always been able to upgrade at the year and not add any more to my bill. I just stay at the same. So I just upgrade to the next one. But then with the iPhone 15, before I went and I wanted to get it, but then I started seeing how the quality of the metal was like it bent too quickly and things like that. I'm like, you know what? They're trying something new ish. And they haven't been able to figure it out. Maybe the next one it'll be better. So that's why I decided just to skip it, because the gap between the 14 and the 15 wasn't there.
Right. It was just that titanium and the USB-C.
Right. But then seeing the 16, it's like, okay, I have more to work with. I have more things to be excited about. So, especially since I'd like to make videos, so this whole features on the cameras it's going to be game changing. Because there's going to be a lot of apps integrating the camera button. But they show, I mean, I don't have Snapchat, but they showed one of the examples was Snapchat utilizing the camera button. So that I thought, out of everything, I thought that was the coolest thing, that they're gonna have other apps integrating the button itself. So
I agree. I'm excited for the new phone. Like I mentioned, I did the pre-order because you can do that shit.
yeah,
They basically get you to the point where your transaction is authorized, but then you can't just press order yet.
right.
So I'm just waiting until
You're
Friday.
putting your name on the list.
Pretty much.
I'm already approved, basically,
Right.
to get it all set.
Right.
So once
Just waiting
once
till
the
Friday.
pre-orders actually drop, then you'll be right in there.
Get first dibs.
Pretty
'Cause
much.
I'm ready. I don't think that this will be a thing that will sell as the old iPhones, because there's a lot more options nowadays, and again, this upgrades for the things that they upgraded in this generation. It might not be for everyone.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the thing. A couple years back, the gap between phones was tremendous.
Yeah,
Like
you can't change much more nowadays. Like, unless you make it holographic, and you give me something
Right.
like Stark Industry stuff,
Yeah.
At that point, that will be the next big jump. But at this point, I don't know what else you can improve besides making it faster every time that you can control it with your eyes, which actually you can with their Apple Vision. But if they do something like that,
it's the law of diminishing returns rearing its ugly head. Because like you said, the leaps between generations are getting shorter and shorter, and there's only so much that you can upgrade. And so, like Lewis and I were saying, it makes more sense for the reasonably minded person to kind of wait a generation or two between upgrades, because then those upgrades seem a lot more profound
Mm-hmm.
when
Right.
you're coming from what you had. So, people that have like, say, the people that might have like anything from the iPhone 15 series might skip the 16 and wait until the 17. Who knows?
Yeah, like I remember I stayed on the iPhone 8 for a long time until the 11th. So I skipped like 3 generations there. And then from the 11th I did buy the 12th.
Right.
But from the 12th I bought a 12 Pro. But I gave that to my mom. And then I waited until the 14th and then now 16th.
Right.
So I've been jumping generations, which makes more sense.
Oh yeah. Plus, it saves you money.
The biggest gap I ever waited was I had the iPhone 5C, which it was the first time that Apple made iPhones in color. The back. It didn't have a black and white screen. It's for those viewers that they might think they're funny. But then after that, I don't remember what other phones I had. I think I switched to Android after that for a little bit. And then from Android, I went to the 10, the XR. And then I had the 11, the 12, 13, 14, and then I skipped 15. So, and I think that 5C was my first iPhone.
Yeah, the 5 was my first. Well, I did have the first one. Yeah, it wasn't my first one. My sister had the first iPhone, and then the iPhone 3GS.
Mm-hmm.
I did have that one, but I bought those used when already new generations were out.
Right.
I never bought them new until the iPhone 5.
Right. And then we started making adult money.
Right. Yeah.
And if we're gonna make bad decisions, we're gonna make bad decisions with our own money.
That's back when they were like $5.99,
Yeah.
not double that.
Which makes you think, because they did the monthly payment on these phones and they were half the price and they were still the same monthly payments. It makes you think, what
It
else
used
were
to
they
be
charging
like,
you?
It used to be like $20.
Yeah,
But
if you get an iPhone now, they're like $800, $900 and it's $21.
No, it's 33.
For the regular iPhone, not for the...
Yeah, $33 a month. But that's 24 months.
Okay. For some reason, I thought they were always the same.
No, they have changed.
Yeah.
Unless you get like half off and whatnot, like
yeah.
if you trade it in, that's a different story.
Yeah. Or you get a credit after you see it in the bill, but then there's a credit.
Right, they charge you, but then they say, "Oh no, this is free." Never mind.
We
But I
we
want you to
just got to
see it.
fool the system that it's free. But no, we're hooking you up.
Yeah.
Lock you into a 2-year contract that they use to be able to subsidize these phones.
Yeah.
And now sometimes like 33 months, 36 months sometimes for financing phones.
No, fuck that. Because they're so fucking expensive. It's almost as financing a fucking car.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, is this too much? No, we'll do 36 months instead of 24 months. You
Depending
have a
on your
lower
credit,
payment. You
we'll
stay
see the
longer
interest
with us, but that's okay.
We'll see the interest rate on that. By the time that you're done paying this one, you'll be in like 6 generations later.
Yeah.
It's just
You guys,
double.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else?
I was gonna talk about Switch, but to be honest, it's more rumors and speculation and things like that. People are hoping there's a lot of talk going around that it might be they might be revealing it this month, sometime in like the next couple of weeks. But I mean, I watch a lot of this stuff, but I don't really take a whole lot of stock in it unless like it's something concrete that's coming from like Nintendo themselves.
Right.
Like regardless of how reputable and accurate some of these like insiders and leakers are or have been, I tend to try and take things with a grain of salt.
It's upsetting as an Xbox fan that the only update we're getting it's an extra terabyte. Like if the rumors are true, Nintendo's getting a whole new console. PlayStation dropped the PlayStation 5 Pro, and we get an extra terabyte.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, what happens with the Nintendo will be what happened with the PlayStation, because they put it on their page yesterday and quickly took it off. But they legit put all the information for the PlayStation 5 Pro on their website.
Well,
Whoops.
I mean,
someone got fired.
Probably. I mean, specs have been talked about and leaked and whatnot, and I don't recall them offhand, so I'm not really going to get too heavy into that. But the it being revealed in September kind of makes sense, because based on what I've been seeing is that dual presentation that they had late last month, which was the Indie World Showcase and the Direct Partner Showcase, was supposed to be in September, but they moved that forward because of some people are saying that they're going to be revealing this in September, because several developers have actually asked them, hey, can you move this up, because we want to show Switch 2 games for Tokyo Game Show. So like specifically, I think it was like Capcom, I think Sega might have said something as well, but it's like a lot of people are wanting to show what they have coming out for the next system. And so, you've got Tokyo Game Show coming up. It's one of the bigger conventions for the business and as well for the fans. And so people want to see, what's coming out. And
Predictions. Are we getting a new Sonic game?
it's certainly possible. When did how long ago did Sonic what was that? Sonic Frontier? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Right.
Let's see.
So, I mean, that might wind up being sometime way into next year, because it's like you don't want to Call of Duty this shit and release a fucking game every year.
The Sonic Frontiers right now is like $20. It wasn't. I don't think it was that good, but 2022.
I'd say we're probably due for something fairly soon, but who knows?
What is that?
Lens flare, bitches.
Mm.
What is that though?
Laser.
It's a laser.
He's watching fuck up at his camera.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been I've been pointing out you guys' eyes for on the screen. And I'm like, sometimes they can't see it. I'm blinding them. All right.
I mean, you might have had a bigger effect if you'd pointed it at the camera instead of the.
Bro, it was a joke. Obviously, I just kept laughing because I'm like being dumb over here. Watch it. I do this, and all of a sudden the cat just jumps and hits the fucking screen.
That'd be hilarious.
Like, what the fuck? All right.
See, all the more reason you'd need like a behind the scenes camera with a different angle, and then all of a sudden you see a cat missile just come out of nowhere and run headlong into your screen.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, it would have been funny as hell. Not for you, obviously, but
No. All right. If you guys don't have anything else, Lola's like, I want to go to sleep.
So tired.
All right. Shut up. All right. So we have reached the end of the episode. Thank you guys for joining us this week. You heard everything about our take on the Apple event, the PlayStation 5 Pro, James Earl Jones again,
R.I.P.
rest in
R.I.P.
peace.
I know, Justin, you unfollowed Mark Hamill for your reasons and whatnot, but he posted a picture of him and James Earl Jones yesterday, and his caption was #RIP Dad.
Yeah, I saw that. It was on the news
Yeah,
this morning. I just happened to see it in passing when I was walking to the kitchen.
Yeah, so it was touching. So, but with that being said, Biffy, Poppy. I'm surprised he wasn't. He's so tired too.
It's bedtime, dude.
Yeah,
It's 11.
yeah. All right. We'll see you next week. This was the Nerd Archive Podcast. Deuces.
Bye.
Click all the things. Bye.
Yeah.